Ever wonder what your pet really thinks or needs to thrive? Join me on the Huberman Lab podcast with animal ethologist Dr. Karolina Westlund as we uncover science-backed secrets to boost your dog or cat's happiness, decode their behaviors, and strengthen your bond. Starting today, Dr. Huberman introduces the podcast's mission to deliver zero-cost science-based information to the public, distinct from his academic roles at Stanford. The episode features Dr. Karolina Westlund, whose expertise lies in studying animal behavior across various species, particularly in domesticated and captive settings. Her students, ranging from pet owners to zookeepers, bring diverse perspectives, enriching her understanding of human-animal dynamics. The conversation aims to debunk myths about pet care, explore the neurological and physiological needs of different breeds, and provide practical tools for pet owners while offering non-owners insights into animal biology and psychology. Dr. Westlund's excitement for the discussion is palpable as she highlights the mutual learning potential between humans and animals. The episode promises to address how animals perceive the world, their emotional lives, and how humans can align their interactions with animals' natural behaviors to enhance well-being. The discussion begins with horses, a species Dr. Westlund examines through an ethological lens. Horses, as prey and herd animals, are highly vigilant, with a wide visual field that allows them to monitor their surroundings for threats. In the wild, they live in social groups, forage for up to 16 hours daily, and stay with their mothers for extended periods. However, modern husbandry practices often disrupt these natural behaviors. Early weaning, single housing, and limited foraging opportunities in captivity can lead to problem behaviors such as stereotypic actions, e.g., cribbing or weaving, which reflect unmet needs. Dr. Westlund critiques the mismatch between horses' evolutionary adaptations and their captive environments. For example, feeding practices that promote quick eating contrast with the prolonged foraging horses naturally undertake, potentially causing stress or health issues. She advocates for housing and care practices that better align with horses' social and foraging instincts, such as group living and extended foraging opportunities, to improve their welfare. Dr. Huberman shares his observations of the human-horse relationship, noting the nuanced physical communication involved in riding, such as subtle leg squeezes or rein tugs. Dr. Westlund explains that horses' sensitivity to these cues stems from their herd dynamics, where subtle signals coordinate group behavior. However, she emphasizes that human assumptions about horses' preferences, e.g., enjoying being ridden, may not always align with their experiences, urging owners to consider horses' perspectives. The conversation shifts to dogs, a species heavily shaped by domestication. Dr. Westlund explains that dogs rely heavily on their sense of smell, using it to gather information about their environment, other animals, and emotional states. This olfactory focus is universal across breeds, though the extent to which breeds prioritize smell versus other senses may vary. For instance, scent hounds are particularly attuned to olfactory cues, but all dogs engage in nose work to explore their world. Dr. Huberman raises the diversity of dog breeds, from mastiffs to chihuahuas, and questions whether their sensory reliance differs. Dr. Westlund acknowledges limited data on sensory differences, but emphasizes that domestication has sculpted breeds for specific roles, amplifying certain behaviors from the wolf's predatory sequence, orienting sniffing, eyeing, stalking, chasing, grabbing, killing, dissecting, and consuming. For example, scent hounds excel at sniffing and tracking. Pointers focus on eyeing and stalking, pausing at these stages. Border collies engage in eyeing, stalking, and limited chasing. Greyhounds are bred for chasing. Retrievers specialize in grabbing. Terriers are adept at killing, historically used for rodent control. Livestock guardians retain sniffing but show minimal predatory behavior. Toy breeds like lap dogs are less driven by these instincts, bred for companionship. This selective breeding has created breeds with distinct genetic backpacks, predisposing them to specific behaviors. Dr. Westlund advises owners to understand their dog's breed, specific drives to provide appropriate outlets, such as nose work for hounds or tugging games for retrievers. For mixed breeds, physical traits e.g., lean bodies for chasers, muscular builds for grabbers can hint at their predispositions. Dr. Huberman shares anecdotes about his bulldog, Mastiff Costello, who showed minimal interest in stalking or chasing, but loved consuming and tugging. Dr. Westlund connects this to bulldogs' historical role in bull baiting, where their short snouts and high pain tolerance in the face due to reduced pain receptors made them tenacious. This underscores the importance of tailoring interactions to a dog's lineage and temperament. Dr. Westlund introduces the core effect space E model to discuss dogs' emotional needs, with valence pleasant to unpleasant on the x-axis and arousal high to low on the y-axis. To foster calm and safety, low arousal, pleasant valence. Owners should minimize negative emotions like fear or aggression, high arousal. Unpleasant and boredom or depression, low arousal, unpleasant. Positive activities such as foraging or play can shift dogs toward pleasant states. Tactile stimulation like petting can promote calm if done correctly. Dr. Westlund warns against human tendencies to hug or pat rapidly, which many dogs find aversive. Instead, she recommends slow, deliberate strokes in areas dogs enjoy, such as the neck or chest, and using a consent test to ensure the dog welcomes the touch. This involves petting briefly, pausing, and observing whether the dog reinitiates contact or moves away. Dr. Huberman notes that slow petting can visibly relax dogs, citing studies showing dogs prefer slower touch. Dr. Westlund ties this to the polyvagal theory, suggesting that a calm human can co-regulate a dog's nervous system, reducing arousal through subtle cues. She emphasizes individual preferences, noting that some dogs love rump scratches due to inaccessible areas, while others may be skittish about touch. Dr. Huberman probes common beliefs about dominance, such as dogs jumping on humans or walking ahead on a leash to assert control. Dr. Westlund challenges these notions, explaining that ethological dominance refers to priority access to resources e.g., food or mates within a social group, not human-dog interactions. Behaviors like backing away when approached are more likely fear-based than submissive, and walking ahead on a leash often reflects learned behavior or excitement, not leadership. She critiques the sociological misuse of dominance in dog training, which anthropomorphizes dogs as seeking to control humans. Instead, she frames dog-human relationships through learning and attachment, not hierarchy. For example, training a dog to walk beside an owner involves operant conditioning e.g., avoiding leash yanks, not establishing dominance. Similarly, feeding a dog after the owner eats, often taught as a dominance ritual, is better understood as setting clear routines to reduce anxiety. Dr. Westlund advocates for rethinking human assumptions, noting that dogs form attachment bonds with humans, not dominance hierarchies. She encourages owners to focus on clear communication in meeting dogs' needs rather than imposing human-centric power dynamics. The discussion turns to cats, which Dr. Westlund describes as solitary hunters who aggregate in loose social groups. Unlike dogs, cats retain most of the predatory sequence orienting, stalking, chasing, grabbing, though some lack the killing bite, leading to play-like interactions with prey. Cats bring prey home not as gifts but to safe spaces, reflecting their instinct to eat in secure environments. Social environment, cats benefit from extended time with their mothers up to 14 weeks to learn social skills and emotional regulation. Early separation can lead to behavioral issues. Food acquisition. As solitary hunters, cats need opportunities to express hunting behaviors, such as through toys or puzzle feeders, to prevent boredom or redirected aggression. Threat response. Cats often perceive human actions, e.g., hugging, as predatory, especially if poorly socialized. Early handling. 1 hour daily from 2-8 weeks fosters sociable cats, while minimal handling produces aloof ones. She explains head bumping as scent marking to incorporate humans into the cat's social group, distinct from territorial urine marking at home boundaries. Litter box placement is critical. Placing food near the litter box can stress cats as they naturally separate eating and elimination to avoid infection. Covering waste is a natural behavior to reduce disease risk, unlike dogs' dirt, kicking, which likely spreads scent. Dr. Huberman briefly discusses his childhood experience with parrots, which destroyed his room due to unmet foraging needs. Dr. Westlund explains that birds, like other animals, prioritize safety, social interactions, and foraging. Captive birds often redirect foraging instincts to destructive behaviors if not provided with appropriate outlets. She suggests scatter feeding or puzzle toys to engage dogs and cats' foraging drives, mirroring birds' need for cognitive stimulation. The conversation touches on zoos where Dr. Westlund acknowledges their conservation and education roles but critiques suboptimal enclosures, particularly for ranging species like polar bears. She recounts a tragic zoo incident involving a tiger, Tatiana, who targeted specific individuals after being provoked, demonstrating calculated offensive aggression rather than indiscriminate fear-based attacks. This highlights animals' capacity for intentionality and emotional memory, challenging underestimations of their cognitive abilities. Dr. Westlund reflects on humans as animals, emphasizing our unique ability to accumulate cultural knowledge across generations, unlike other species reliant on trial and error or social learning from immediate peers. This standing on the shoulders of giants allows humans to build complex technologies and societies, distinguishing us from tool-using animals like chimpanzees. She critiques anthropomorphism, assuming animals are like humans, and anthropogenial, denying shared traits, advocating a balanced view. Humans share emotional and mood responses with animals, though triggered by different stimuli due to species-specific adaptations. Understanding these commonalities can enhance empathy and care for animals, while recognizing differences prevents misinterpretations. Dr. Huberman raises neutering, sharing his experience with Costello, whose vigor improved with testosterone injections post-neutering. Dr. Westlund notes cultural variations in neutering practices, e.g., banned in Norway except for medical reasons, mandatory in Western Australia, and emerging research on its behavioral and health impacts. Neutering can increase fear, reactivity, and certain cancers in males, particularly if done early, due to the loss of testosterone's activating effects. She recommends breed-specific discussions with veterinarians, considering alternatives like vasectomies or chemical castration to preserve hormones while preventing reproduction. Dr. Westlund offers several actionable protocols for pet owners. Horses promote social housing, extended foraging, and delayed weaning to align with their prey and herd instincts. Dogs tailor activities to breed-specific drives, e.g., nose work for hounds, tugging for retrievers. Use slow petting, consent tests, and scatter feeding to enhance calm and engagement. Avoid early weaning. 8 weeks is too soon to foster secure attachment. Cats provide hunting outlets, e.g., toys, separate food from litter boxes, and ensure early socialization for sociability. Recognize scent marking as social bonding, not just territoriality. General, observe animals' body language and emotional cues, e.g., dog tail wags, left for negative, right for positive, to gauge their state. Prioritize safety and cognitive stimulation to prevent problem behaviors.